I'm Bob Pearl. I'm an attorney. I have offices in Naples, Florida and Pittsford, New York. I've been practicing law since 1973, and the focus of our law practice at the Pearl Law Firm is representing victims of financial fraud. That includes people who have been victimized by Ponzi scheme operators like Lou Pearlman and Bernard Madoff and others, as well as people who have been victimized by their financial advisors, stockbrokers and independent financial advisors. So it was natural for us to become involved with the Pearlman case when that first surfaced, and we were retained by approximately 300 victims, which I understand to be the largest single group of investors who were victimized by Pearlman and his Ponzi scheme. For a period of years, they were receiving returns on their investments and had no reason to be suspicious. So he was the consummate con artist because he had this aura of believability. And there was no reason to distrust him because of the reports of success on so many levels. And yet we know that it was a house of cards. The financial statements were all false. He was able to convince bankers as well as run-of-the-mill folks. The way these investments were presented was that they were safe. That because you were going to be part of a relatively small group of people who were friends and family of Transcontinental, you would get larger returns on your investments than had you put those in the stock market or put them in a bank account or invested in CDs. These were outsized returns that were being promised, but they had every reason to believe that these were valid. The organization that's responsible to investigate this is the Office of Financial Regulation. And they were presented with evidence in the early 2000s that the Transcontinental ESA program and investment program was illegitimate. Had they acted at that time to issue an injunction, not just against the sales by individual salesmen, but against the sale at all of these investments, untold millions of dollars of losses would have been spared. There were hundreds of millions of dollars of losses here, and there's no way to know what portion of that took place from 2003 to 2006. But one has to conclude that tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars would have been saved had the state of Florida acted sooner. He was a complicated person who was his own worst enemy. Could have done a lot of good, could have helped people tremendously. And at the end, he got his just desserts.